also go to the tastyshow.com and get the information as well, or Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or anywhere you can find the Tucson Tasty Show. All right, so Joshua, what do you got for us today?
Do you know, about 3 weeks ago, the creator of the tiramisu actually passed away. So it's like I've been thinking about that for the last 3 weeks or so.
The creator of the tiramisu. I thought tiramisu was just a staple in like Italy. Like it's always been.
He
there.
was Italian, so. But
all right, fair.
You don't say.
So tiramisu is quite the undertaking to make if you're going to make it correctly, because you actually have to cook off the cream. You're infusing all those amazing ingredients and amazing flavors. You've got to find fresh, Cody. That's fresh ladyfingers, and then. Fresh ladyfingers, and what else?
Well, of course, you have to have your espresso to dip your
ladyfingers. You gotta have
dip your ladyfingers in. Of course, mascarpone cheese if you're not making it yourself. So there are some recipes that would say use egg, but then they don't cook it. So I'm like, if you just put it in, I do not put egg in mine because I don't want salmonella from raw eggs.
There's so many things there I got to talk about with that, eggs. But yeah, okay, fair enough. Go ahead, Sonora.
I was just gonna say, I'm not gonna lie, I was freaked out by raw eggs for the longest time in my life, and then I had a whiskey sour that was made properly with egg whites, and it changed my life.
Well, but they're sterilized with the alcohol.
Well,
I mean, back in college, I did.
Just saying, you're taking away from that I'm set I'd be curious to see what the difference was with the texture, the consistency of raw egg versus no egg.
Isn't that your favorite mixed drink of choice right now?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay, well, fair
Look
enough.
at you.
I pay attention.
The one with the egg.
Every once in a while.
Well, the tartare also uses the egg yolk.
Oh, I see. That's delicious.
I want to try that. It's that's one thing I haven't tried, but so of course, back in college, you half a cup of orange juice and 2 eggs. Get your little protein shake in the morning before you go work out.
Yeah, no, never did that
drink.
one. I'll stick with the yolk on the tartare.
Yeah, I'm good. If anybody ever serves me undercooked egg whites, I have a problem. I do. Now, in a mixed drink, that's a whole different story, especially if they're ultra pasteurized. And if they're making them properly with the egg, it should be ultra pasteurized. So you're killing off all the bacteria or any possible cross contamination. So you get that amazing thing. Now, the cool thing about that in the drink, you know what it does, right? With the sour, it actually stops that tinge in the back of your jaw. So it stops that response. I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, I was going to say effect.
Olfactory? No, anyway. But the Tucson Tasty Show would not be the Tucson Tasty Show without its amazing sponsors. And thank you to all of our amazing sponsors. That's Vera Oral Premium Beef, Your Financial Guide Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Allegra Marketing, Print and Mail. And don't forget to subscribe and share. If you have any questions for any of our guests today, please feel free to call in at 520-790-2040, and you can come on the show, be on the show with us. If you aren't near a phone, or if you don't want to call into the show, you can actually go on to YouTube or Facebook. We are also live streaming there, and you can ask a question. Now, speaking of one of our sponsors, Allegra Marketing, Print and Mail, they actually made up some pretty cool patches. Now, these patches are amazing, and they're for sale on our website. And you can go to thetastyshow.com, go to shop, and get one of these amazing patches. Now, we're actually going to be throwing some of these patches, and these patches are really nice in the Vera Earl Premium Beef Tasty Show box.
Yeah.
And
get your subscriptions in. The first ones are going out pretty quick here.
Yes, they are at the beginning of next month, right?
Yep.
And now every box won't have one of these, but there will be random boxes with random swag from all of our partners. So we'll have some Copper State Forge in there, and if you don't know what Copper State Forge is, it's copperstateforge.com, and they make some of the best pans, and these pans are Rapunzel grade, like frying pans. And if you have kids, you'll understand the reference. Anyway, so the back to the tiramisu.
So,
That's a long roundabout.
so fall's coming up, and the reason how I say fall is because all the spirit Halloween start popping up. So one of the things and then what all the little pumpkin spice drinks pop up. So what I did today was I actually took some ladyfingers, soaked it in a little bit of espresso, and then I mixed mascarpone with pumpkin puree, and so it made like a little pumpkin pie tiramisu kind of thing.
Cool.
So
Okay.
I got some here to try later.
Later or now? No.
Whichever.
Fair enough. And yeah. So what was the biggest challenge of making this tiramisu, and how long did it take you?
Well, like I said about the eggs and stuff, like I just used canned pumpkin, and what I did was I actually threw it in a big saute pan to actually heat it up, because my thing is like, even though it comes from a can, yeah, it's already cooked once. It's like I want to cook it again, just make sure it gets to that right temperature, and then I put the mascarpone in. Maybe about 45 minutes, and it's like because once you start dipping the ladyfingers in the espresso, you got to be kind of quick about it, and then layer it in different things. But it was pretty quick to make, and then sit about 12 hours in the fridge to let everything melt together.
So for Cody Peck in the corner, tell us what mascarpone is.
Mascarpone is I think it's an Italian cheese. It's almost equivalent of what you'd say like a cream cheese, Philadelphia cream cheese is, except that it has more of a tart flavor to it.
Right.
Not as creamy. It's a little bit more thick, but it actually is like a sweet cheese though.
Yeah.
Sweet and tangy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. So Cody, what do we have coming up in October for Network Outdoors?
Well, October 11th, we have the Expo and Wild Game Dinner over at the Pima County Fairgrounds.
It's the Pima County Shooting
Sports
Complex. But yeah, it's right behind the Pima County Fairgrounds. If you know where that's at, you can quickly find that. And how can people get information on that?
Well, later on, we'll be having, as it's going live today, we have a QR code and a link for tickets. A few spots for more vendors and other members to come out and come and join. And so far, we have Vera Earl Premium Beef is going to be there. Laramita is going to be there. USCCA is going to be there. And we have a few others that are going to be there.
Well, I'm super excited because I just found out the Pima County is actually going to help push that out. So when those tickets go live, you better get your tickets quickly because they're going to sell out.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a very limited event. Now there's an expo beforehand where you can come check out the vendors, check out everything, get your name in some raffle prizes, things like that. But the dinner is limited on the amount of people we have going.
And we'll also have that up on thetastyshow.com, a link directly to the tickets. So everybody, all of our fans and listeners can also go there. But I'm excited about that because we're going to be able to see what Executive Sous Chef Seth Meddy is going to do with beef tongue.
Yes, we got some beef tongue and some beef marrow coming in.
Awesome.
And so that's going to be a little bit different taste on that side. And then we'll have some other meats coming in too.
Awesome.
I can safely say as an attendee last year, it's definitely fun to be able to try different things, especially the game related stuff. Like a lot of people haven't had tongue, for example. I got to try dove heart last year and never in my life would have thought I would have eaten that. And it was absolutely phenomenal. So
yeah, I was like, these raisins are delicious. And, those are definitely dove hearts. And I'm like, well, there it is.
Yeah, those are you pickled the dove hearts last year. We'll definitely have some dove and some dove hearts and some other things out there. So it's gonna be a fun time. There is a waiver to sign, just so you guys know.
Of course.
For it, but that comes with, if you're buying the tickets, you already know you're going to be signing a waiver.
Awesome. So check that out. And then we're going to go into our first break. We have the owner and creator of Lambre Pizza e la Lina. Now, I practice that really a lot. Hopefully I'm saying it right. But Leo Garcia will be joining us here after the break. And thank you to our sponsors. That's Vera Earl Premium Beef, your financial guy, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Allegra Marketing, Print and Mail, and as always, stay tasty, Tucson. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source. We're here in studio with all of our amazing guests today. We have Cody Peck of Network Outdoors. We have Sonora of Vera Earl Premium Beef. That's vepremiumbeef.com. Don't forget to get your subscription box. The first ones are rolling out, and there's going to be some really cool stuff. And then we have our featured guest, which is Leo of Lumbre Pizza a la Lina.
Lumbre.
Yes. Well, there you go. I practiced wrong, but I'm sorry. Lumbre Pizza a la Lina.
A la leña.
Okay. Well,
It's all right, Wesley.
I
Food is your
apologize.
strong point. We
Yes.
know what it is.
and they don't have producer Tina here to correct me, so all right. Anyway, so how you doing today?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you excited to be here with the Tucson Tasty Show?
Absolutely. Yeah. I've been excited all week. You know,
I'm excited to
looking
have
forward
you.
to it.
I've been eating your pizza for years, and tell us a little bit of how you got started. Why did you start a pizza cart? Because that's really, I mean, it's more than a pizza cart,
Not
but
a-
it's
yeah,
a
it's
trail.
not a restaurant?
Initially, you know, I started as a pizza oven on a trailer. You know, kind of throughout the years grew. But I started was in the backyard. We actually did homemade, you know, pizzas. You know, but I was the guest, and we did them in just like a grill type deal. Crank up the heat, you know,
Nice.
and and that same day, we had somebody that was there as well show me. You know, I just came back from Seattle. I saw a pizza food truck. Check this out, and that's where the idea started. That's where it sparked. Then I went to work for a place down here in Fiamme.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We had him on a couple weeks ago.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Jason? No.
Scott.
Scott. Thank you.
Yeah.
I apologize.
So that's
I apologize, Scott. Your award-winning pizzas are amazing. Thank you.
absolutely, yeah. So that's where I actually learned how to make the pizzas and started from scratch. And you know, Scott was definitely a great teacher to me. And so from there, you know, as I was working there, built up to open up the first pizza oven on the trailer, just on the back of the trailer. You know, we pull it with the truck and then set up a tent and make the pizzas under the tent type deal. So from there, you know, kind of been pushing through in Green Valley and recently, you know, changed name to Lumbre Pizza a la Leña, and we'll be in Tucson, mainly downtown. We have some big news coming up soon, so we'll be able to announce some more places or a place for you guys to come enjoy and sit down and eat our pizza. So
That's
Nice,
exciting.
nice.
It's
Oh,
exciting
this
and
wait,
kind of
wait,
sad
news,
all at the
breaking
same time.
news. There's going to be a brick and mortar.
yeah, brick and mortar type deal. So
Oh, where's that going to
Awesome.
be?
Come on, you got to tell everybody now. I mean,
we'll be announcing it on our socials, but
make sure you tag us out,
I'll definitely
and we'll
let
make
you
sure
guys know,
we'll
you know.
get you out there. No, that's awesome. And then so you built out this trailer, right? And this is a really cool thing. I don't know if you know it or not, but I mean, when you built out this trailer, you didn't hire somebody to build out this trailer. You did it yourself, right?
So me and my uncle actually was the one that took care of all of the back end. He was the brain ends, but as far as, you know, where the idea came from and kind of letting him what we wanted out of it, he you know, he did. He's a mastermind behind the oven, so I can't take full credit for all of that.
I appreciate that.
And but yeah, so as far as the difference from our wood-fired pizza is the Sonoran flavors. You know, we actually do carne asada pizzas, you know, elotes. Now we're doing actually roasted corn, so a lot of wood-fired cooking, and then Mexican flavors, toppings. That's kind of where
Sure.
what we specialize in.
So, what inspired you to create that signature carne asada pizza, and how did you come up with the idea of combining traditional Mexican flavors with a pizza?
Right. So when the first time I actually had Neapolitan style pizza, that kind of wood fire pizza, was at Fiamme. So when I tasted it, it had a very similar taste of tortilla.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I was like, man, carne asada would be pretty good on here. So that's
Right.
where it was, the infusion came, where and then every Sunday we'd go to my nana's, we'd have carne asada. The leftovers the next day, I brought it to work, and here we go. Let's put the toppings on.
Where do you get your beef?
In South Tucson at Camacho's.
I've got a better place for you.
Where at?
Vera Earl Premium Beef. That's VEPremiumBeef.com. They'll
Okay.
deliver it right to your front door. You don't have to drive anywhere. And it's the whole thing from ground beef to tenderloin is 21-day dry aged.
Okay.
So it's beef that tastes like beef. You don't lose any of that flavor, and it's incredible. This is Sonora of Vera Earl Premium Beef, one of our sponsors. So
Great.
That was a good plug there.
well, thank you.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about wood fire versus a pizza oven that doesn't use wood fire?
So I would say every pizza is not going to be exactly the same. I guess that's the challenge in the wood fire pizza.
Right.
But that's what makes it a great pizza, is that you're making it, you're trying your best to make it every day the same, exact same. So
Right,
that's the
right.
challenge in it. But at the same time, you also have a beautiful pizza that's made from really from scratch and hand toss. So it does make a big difference from hand tossing, as far as or having them roll it out, and so really getting in there and crafting it yourself and
Right.
Does
perfecting that.
the type of wood you use affect the flavor?
Yeah, I would say so. We use mesquite flavor. There's just abundance of it around, and it
Right.
burns at a high heat for long periods of time. So that's kind of what we're looking for.
We have another friend that does olive wood, and that one's quite unique, but it burns as hot as the mesquite, but it doesn't have such a pungent.
Right.
But I mean, the pizza's not really picking up a lot of the flavor, because you're
Right.
talking about 30 to 90 seconds and it's done.
Exactly.
Right.
It's more
Well, I
of
feel
a-
like that's a way to really incorporate where you are as well. It's
Exactly.
kind of cool to be able to say that.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Well, so know where you get your beef from, but out of curiosity, do you source any of your other ingredients locally? And if so, how do you select and incorporate them into the pizzas that you're making?
Yeah, definitely try to buy locally. Most of our food, besides like more of the traditional toppings like the pepperoni,
Mm-hmm.
those kinds of we don't make. But as far as like the chorizo, we make that ourselves. And
Did you know that
everything's
Vera
in-house?
Earl Premium Beef has their own chorizo mix?
I did not. I did not.
I'm waiting for it. Sorry, I
Thanks,
tee them
Leslie.
up for you. So, on a more of a serious note, have you heard recently about the food truck food fights that are going to be happening here in Tucson? And it's going to be towards the end of the year. It's actually the last 2 months of the year, and the finale is actually going to be at the Arizona Bowl tailgate.
Yes, definitely. I love the competition, so I definitely was excited when I heard about it. So.
Perfect. That's awesome. So we're working on that, and it's going to be amazing. They're expecting between 10 and 15,000, because that's what they had last year, and we're hoping to really gear up with the local community, because we have a lot of out-of-towners that come in for the Arizona Bowl, but we want to really engage the local community. So we're going to get the food truck food fights, and then we're going to have literally five competition nights beforehand with live music. We're partnering with breweries in town. We're going to be at, hopefully, if everything works out, a barbecue smoke-off one of the nights. I mean, it's going to be amazing. And, thank you to Arizona, or the Snoop Dogg's Arizona Bowl, brought to you by Gin and Juice, by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, for giving us the opportunity to do that. And, yeah. I mean, that's a subtle plug for you as well. So, but we're super excited to be partners in that, and we're really blessed. But we're going to be really highlighting the food trucks in Tucson, and that's our goal because we want to make sure that everybody gets some love. I mean, you got Tucson Night Fights for the chefs, and then you have Iron Chef of Tucson, which Meet the Chefs is tomorrow. And if you have tickets already, I believe that it's sold out. But go to the TucsonKnifeFight.com, or no, Tucson Iron Chef, or Iron Chef of Tucson. .com and check it out if you don't have tickets. And then but we're going to be there tomorrow at the TCC. You can also see Viral. We'll have Ian, and he's an amazing conversationalist, so definitely ask him lots of questions tomorrow. It's its own fault for not being here today. And
Oh, I feel like Wesley's calling Ian out right now.
Yeah, you're setting up someone to get a bunch of phone calls after this.
Me, yes. But we're excited about that. And then we have the Good Food Forum with Local First Arizona coming up. That's on Tuesday. Are you going to be there for?
No, not this year. But definitely been to some of those night fights and the cool environment, and it's cool to get all the community together and be able to get that going. So that's cool.
Yeah, Monday 7 p.m. at Forbes Meat Market. There it is. And Forbes Meat Market's over on, I believe it's 6th. And
it's near downtown, yeah. Somewhere 6th Street or something, 6th.
It's right in the barrio.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's going to be a blast. Brand new building, brand new everything out there, and everything else. So before we go on the break here, how's the Tucson community really influenced your business and menu choices? And what role do you think food plays in bringing people together?
Yeah. So I grew up in Tucson, so I, feeding and Green Valley. And so my grandma, we grew up in Green Valley, and in Tucson, I kind of moved back and forth. So we, all the flavors come from my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them coming from Sonora, Mexico.
We're gonna get the rest of that answer here after the break. I'm Wesley Source, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll be right back. Special thank you to our sponsors: Vero Premium Beef, your financial guy Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Allegra Marketing, Print and Mail. Stay tasty, Tucson. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we're back with Leo of Lumbre
Triple L.
Pizza a la
Leña.
What is the difference between Lina and Leña?
See that little tilde above the N right there?
I was like, did I miss it? Did I put it there?
And yeah, so we've got, we were talking about your local influences, what inspired everything. Let's go ahead and finish that answer if you.
Yeah, so, mainly the inspiration, comes from my grandma, my nana. She's the one who's always been cooking for us. So, and then growing up in Tucson, Tucson, is a carne asada is a staple here in Tucson. Anywhere you go, you could pretty much get taco, burrito, you name it.
Carne asada burrito
So
or carne asada super
we wanted
nachos.
to do the carne asada, and it's pretty simple toppings, as far as it shines on its own, and we have a cilantro lime sauce that goes on the side, so it's good combination, and it goes well. It works.
Sure. So I know you shouted out the Fiamme Pizza, but if you had one other place in town that you would send somebody to get pizza, spread the love a little, kind of a thing, where would you send them, and what would be the pizza?
Definitely Penelope Pizza. We've actually worked in the same, as far as like food truck, the same style of ovens, So we've actually known each other for a few years now, and
Awesome.
I've had their pizza. You can't go wrong with the margarita. You always have to try their margarita.
Yes.
The first one you gotta try.
Yeah, if you're judging the pizza place off of cheese pizza, I've got words for you. No shout out.
But
Is it bad that when you said you had to try their margarita, it like literally went to a margarita,
No.
not like a margarita
no,
pizza?
yeah,
it's
you have to
supposed
get
to-
more.
it's
Get
supposed to
that
cause
more
that.
off.
Well, you're talking about like carne asada, and I was like
Right.
carne asada and a margarita, like
Exactly.
You know?
That's
Yes.
actually the misconception we have when we tell you.
That's
you know,
awesome.
we have a carne
I'll take
asada
the
pizza.
non-alcoholic
But we
pizza,
also
please.
have a margarita. I'll take them both. Then you
that's
get two pizzas at the end of it.
So they just opened up a new location. Where they at?
Kolb Speedway area, but
Mhm.
yeah, definitely. I haven't been there yet, and
Beautiful building.
yes,
I was a barista there back in the day.
Yeah.
That was that was longer ago than I'm willing to admit. It was 20 years ago. Anyways, that's when I learned how to sling coffee and get people addicted to caffeine. It was a great time. But really cool building because they have that upstairs and then they have that beautiful kitchen in the back. They used to have a full bakery and stuff in there. I'm not sure if it's still there or not, but they had a really cool glass enclosure that you could watch everything being baked. It was so cool.
Interesting.
The Coffee House.
Now I know where they are.
Yeah. All right. In front of the cheap theater,
Yeah.
right?
That bakery. As soon as you said it, the bakery, that's
Yeah.
what I remember. That bakery made the best lemon bars ever.
Yes.
When I was a kid.
Yeah, I worked there.
So that's crazy.
Long ago. Back when the cheap theater wasn't the cheap theater. That was just a regular
was the
theater. And
theater.
then it became the cheap theater. And I was disappointed. But anyways, so Tucson history for you. And then it became some other great restaurants. And now Tiame. Or, no,
Penelope.
Now,
Penelope's. There it is.
I have a question.
Yes.
Really quick.
Mhm.
For those that don't speak Spanish, where did the name come from and what
Ooh.
does it mean?
so
Thank you.
The name Lumbre is fire. So and
Uh-huh.
where it comes from for me, is where I was down in a couple, as far as like mentally, outworked, all these things, and I needed the fire to get back in it, and that's where the name came from, and then being part of Pizza La Leña, wood fire pizza is what we do. We do it best.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mhm. That's awesome. I like
There
it.
we go.
Just had to ask.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, what is your tip for people at home to keep in their kitchen to make better food, better pizza?
To make better pizza, let's see. For pizza, I would say you need time. You need time. Let the dough, give it. If you're gonna make it at home, give it some time. As far as once you actually make it into a ball, let it rest. That way you get your best. I would say 2 days, in the fridge.
Ooh.
It's a little different.
Really develop that
Wow.
gluten.
Right. It's a little
That's
different.
You
when-
gotta let that gluten do its thing. So
This is
it,
why I'm I'm
bonds everything.
horrible with recipes. I couldn't wait that long.
Yeah,
I- the-
at home pizza. It's you can make it quick, but I would say
days, okay.
time.
I do like the overnight pizza dough, but I have a recipe that I adapted for my pizza, and I actually use a double O,
Yeah.
and which is a flour type. It's really finely. It's soft, and I find that when I don't use that, everything sticks. But when I use that, nothing sticks, which is great. But then we let it rise for 6 hours, and that's it. And then we punch it and we go. But
Yeah.
it's making sure that we're beating it up enough to develop
Great,
that gluten.
Yeah, definitely. You want that last.
Do you have any idea what we're talking about, Cody?
Yes,
Oh,
because
go-
I actually make my own pizza dough at my house. When I make pizza, I
That's
started
good.
at like 5 a.m. in the morning, and then I let it rise.
So you know about the
and
time.
split it out, and then I let it rise again.
Yeah.
Before, and then I will roll it out. I do a thin crust with it, and
Yeah.
so my tip is on that. I throw a brown ale in with my dough,
Cool.
give a little different flavor.
Feed the yeast.
Nice. Yeah.
All right.
I use different combinations of flours. Mix them together. And
I have to ask: have you had the pizza crust or bread over at Zio Pepe?
I've been once, and I can't remember that I had that, but I do remember
That one's a really good one.
I remember this poblano sauce. That's what I remember. That was really good. And that's what I remember from
Fair
Zio
enough.
Pepe.
Awesome. Also, while we're talking about Zio Pepe, congratulations to Executive Chef Devin Sanner and his new position over at the Lodge at Ventana. It's absolutely incredible. I'm super excited for him. What a great addition to the chef journey. I can't wait to hear more about it once he gets everything solidified.
Mid September is what I heard
Yeah.
when he'll be over there. So
Okay.
Ooh,
it's right around the corner.
fun, tasty. It should be tasty anyway. So, if you haven't gone to the tastyshow.com and checked out the store yet, you got to check out some other things because we do have tasty bites on there as well. And we have a writer that's going to be putting up different interviews from different people around town, and definitely go on there and make sure you put the 5 stars because that's how we get the support and we get Google to drive everything to our website, right? And then we have events on there as well. So,
Yes. Well, game dinner should be up there too.
not yet. I don't have tickets,
You'll have them later today.
but I need tickets, and then I'll put it up there.
I'm not getting involved in that one.
And let's see, as a family-owned business, what advice would you give to aspiring food enthusiasts looking to make their own mark in Tucson's culinary scene?
It's a good question. I would say if you haven't started, you need to start. You know, that's the
Just get
biggest
started.
thing. That's the biggest thing.
I like it.
You know, even if it's for your family or to start online, it's definitely you can definitely shout yourself out a lot of places online. Once you
Yes.
start with your family, get your feedback from them. That's
Then
definitely
call the Tucson Tasty Show and get an interview on the radio show.
Yeah, definitely. And if you really want it, put your head down and get to it. Work. You're gonna have to work for it. So
Yeah.
that's ultimately the hard work where
Absolutely.
where it comes in.
Awesome. Well, I have a question, and it's kind of parallel to the Cody question of what would you have in the kitchen? What one thing does a home cook need in the kitchen? But it's what's one top tip for home cooks looking to recreate a restaurant level dish in their own kitchens?
That's a good question. I would say you have to pay attention to detail when it comes to wanting to create something a little fancier, something more of a restaurant home. Instead of just kind of throwing things together, you kind of want to outline what you're going to do before and kind of have a vision for what you're going to make.
Beautiful. Awesome. Do you have
Detail one time.
Do you have any recommendations for
Yeah.
at-home cooks, Sonora, from Vera
That's-
Earl Premium Beef?
Well, that's funny because when you said, like, do you have a recommendation about trying to recreate a restaurant dish? And then what I missed in that question was for at-home cooks because I was just going to be like, well, look, marry a chef.
All right.
So
Well-
none available for everyone.
I'm not even married to a chef, but
All right. Thank you, Cody. Oh boy. I was thinking that you were gonna think, or you were thinking about like trying to get that.
like, pitch my beef.
No, the Mama Luisa's. Which, by the way, if you want to see the revamped episode of the Mama Luisa's episode, that played today. So we rebuilt it, re-released it. You get more behind the scenes, you get more in depth on the stories, and then you also get to see Sonora on TV. On the CW at 4 p.m. So right after the show here, jump on and check it out. It's
You get like 2 hours of tasty.
yeah, exactly. Well,
to
an hour
add
and a
I mean,
half.
you
to
know,
add
yeah.
to that last question, you could also call your best buddy, whoever. For me, it's my Munch. Another shout out Munchies, Jay Garcia. That's my cousin. But for me, if I
Jay
want
Garcia.
to at home dish, level it up. Hey, cuz This is what I want to do.
He's doing some incredible stuff, I have to say. But
Yes.
we'll have to give him his own time on the show.
Absolutely.
I'm Wesley Source, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll be right back. Special thank you to our amazing sponsors, Vero Premium Beef. Your financial guide, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Allegra Marketing, Print and Mail, and as always, stay tasty, Tucson. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we're back with Chef Joshua, and we're going to be digging into this tasty bite of pumpkin tiramisu.
I feel like the camera needs to see this.
Yes. Actually, I can do that pretty easily.
Here
Pumpkin
you go.
tiramisu.
Up. There you go.
Now,
Can I just say fall's my favorite season?
it
So,
is-
tiramisu has that, like, the chocolate sprinkled on it. Well, I have this stuff, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cinnadust. So that's what I just put on top.
Okay.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Well, because,
Tasty.
cinnamon and nutmeg and your pumpkin
Right.
pie. So figured maybe something go good together. Most times, like, the flavors, like, you have a profile in your head and like, oh, let's see what combines differently or something. So that's why I kind of did
Oh no,
this way.
that's your size.
They're all the same size.
And we got to make sure that we get Leo and Mr. Wyatt a piece. These are Mama Luisa size pieces.
Yes, they are.
I'm impressed.
I think they might actually be.
Let me
bigger than
ask you,
his.
where did you get the lady fingers from?
Yeah, just got them on the store.
Okay.
I didn't go anywhere special to get these.
Okay.
It took about 12 hours to let the stuff come together because I was worried about when I was putting it together that it might be too,
Oh wow, look at that.
might
That's
be
generous.
too,
Look at this.
what's that, liquidy. So I was glad it firmed up right. So cutting into it right now is actually the first time cutting into it.
It's got a lot of. What was the coffee that you used for the espresso? Again, nothing special.
Yeah, nothing special.
Like
It was,
Battleborn coffee. Oh, Battleborn coffee. You had it roasted for
see,
you
I don't-
directly.
I don't have an espresso machine, so I actually got the it was just from Fry's. Is the one of the espresso blend that was already brewed, so it's kind of more of a cold brew espresso.
Hmm. This is good, but I would say the only feedback that I have is instead of cinnamon toast crunch, I would actually put the pumpkin spice on top
Pumpkin spice.
because that would just kind of tie everything back into and get that umami flavor, right?
I was also thinking about Cool Whip
Okay.
and a little pumpkin pie.
But
But then you
this
could do
is
Cool
good.
Whip and then put the little pumpkin spice on it, like you do got what's that? Deviled eggs. You put the paprika on top of it after you mix it all together. So you just use that as a little bit more garnish.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for sharing that with us. That is
It's a wonderful introductory to fall dessert today.
yes. Pumpkin spice. I already have pumpkin spice everything in my house, just so everybody knows. But that's because I'm an October baby, and I'm allowed because it's literally the spice of my month.
Well,
Nobody else is allowed
Fall.
to have pumpkin spice.
the true flavor of the fall is maple. It's all about maple. It's not pumpkin spice. It's maple, and that's October 29th.
Maple. Okay, that's
Maple.
a Scorpio thing.
Maple.
Whatever.
I think he thinks he's Canadian.
I actually really don't like maple syrup a lot. I mean, it has to be real maple syrup from like Maine or Vermont or someplace, and it has to be like traditionally made for me to like enjoy it at all because there's too much artificial out there.
You always got
And,
to check those labels in there.
Even some of the labels, I mean, you get mislabeled stuff, and you're like, "Oh, this is real," and you spend the money on it, and you don't need much when you get the real stuff, and it's just a little bit, and you're good.
I have to say, I did not have like true Vermont maple syrup until I was an adult. Previous job, we worked with a company out of Vermont, and the guy sent me a bottle of syrup, and I'm like, he seriously sent me syrup, and it changed my life.
Which
There's
is
no
like,
reason he said, "Yeah, that's
It was. It didn't taste like any syrup I'd ever had. Like it was phenomenal.
Well, just like
and
honey-
now I'm a syrup snob.
yes."
so maple syrup and honey is two of the biggest ones that people will add extra stuff into it, but then it's not the real stuff. It's like you actually, it's always better to get from a farmer or somebody that knows, like, yeah, somebody from Vermont.
That would be an interesting challenge, and I know I'm hearing what you're saying, and that actually is that would be interesting. That would be another good one too. Another like a maple syrup pizza. But I was just thinking if Leo of Lumbre Pizza El Leña.
I'm
He's
gonna
gonna
call
get it by the
Triple L
end of
from
the
now on.
show.
It doesn't help that I practiced wrong, but to do a tiramisu pizza, like a dessert pizza, ooh, that'd be cool if you could pull it off. Challenged. And then so I wanted to talk about food truck food fights. Food truck food fights is going to be coming up here, and we're going to start the second Friday of November. We're going to go every week. We're going to skip over Thanksgiving because it would just be crazy to try to do anything on Black Friday. And we're going to have, it's going to be an event. Now, all the food trucks that participate are going to be welcome back for each event. We're going to be advertising everything out on every platform, so TV, radio, everywhere. And we have some new friends at ESPN Tucson and KGON 9 News. Obviously, if we're on KGON 9, we've got to have friends over there. But we're going to be making sure that all the food trucks have plenty of customers. And then we're actually going to have secret judges. Check this out. So we're going to have a double blind for the food trucks. So everything's going to be rated on quality, presentation, and consistency. So each judge is, we might have 3 judges, we might have five judges, and each night that we do it. And when we do that, we're going to have them come at different times in the evening. And then we're going to take pictures of the food, and then that's going to be rated and scored as well. So it's going to be a 2 to 3 hour event. And it's going to be open for vendors as well. If you want information on being involved with the food truck food fights or being a vendor with us, you can definitely come in, and it's the Tucson Tasty Show at gmail.com is the only email. And that's directly to me, and I will respond directly to you. So it's just Wesley Source and at thetastyshow.com. But you want to email so that everything's organized to the Tucson Tasty Show at gmail.com. And we're building out the vendors list. We have a couple live bands already. Maybe we can get a country band to volunteer to come in and support us.
I'm sure we can figure something out.
I might know a country singer. Maybe. But the locations are being solidified as soon as we get the locations, and we have a local artist that's doing the logo for us. It's going to be cool. And we gave a little bit of guidance, but we're really tying everything together, and it's going to be a blast. And then the winner of the food truck food fights is going to be crowned champion of the Tucson food trucks on the field at the Arizona Stadium. At least cross our fingers, and we're told that it's doable. So we're really excited about that, because it's going to be an amazing stage to represent Tucson's food scene, and the food trucks and everybody that's doing all that amazing food in Tucson.
That's exciting. Tucson's already kind of on the map when it is food-wise, like with all of the UNESCO and everything else that we have, but there's so much more to it, even just on a local level, that it's exciting to see it's going to be kind of brought even more so to the forefront. And hopefully, we'll get a little bit of shout out there on the national stage.
And what's good about it is, like, you have all these different food trucks, and sometimes it's hard to track where they're at. It's like, oh, well, sometimes I want something from here, here, and here, but I got to go all the way across town for the 3 different locations. It's going to be nice to have all these different trucks at one spot, so you can try all these different things.
Yeah.
And then, that's going to be, that's, we're super excited, and it's going to be a great partnership. And we're hoping to actually have a database built out for the food trucks and partnering with the food trucks so that they can really take it up to the next level. Any final comments, Cody? Mr. Peck in the corner.
Any final comments? No. Nothing on the food truck fight.
Awesome. Well,
Well, people can sponsor it too if they want to.
Yes, absolutely. We are looking for sponsors 100%. We are working on a pretty cool sponsor that's going to help out the food trucks directly. It's going to be amazing. Thank you so much for joining us this week or today on the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll see you next Saturday from 3 to 4. We have Micah Kalilo of La India. Thank you to our sponsors and guests, and that's Leo of Lumbre Pizza El
A la
Leña.
leña.
All right. And Vero Premium Beef, your financial guy, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Allegra Marketing, Print and Mail. Thanks for tuning into the Tucson Tasty Show. Remember to savor every delicious bite and keep those taste buds excited. Until next time, stay tasty, Tucson.